The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Again, text SAVIOR to 312-591-8300. That is the keyword for the sold-out Rise Against show with Q101 at the Salt Shed. So SAVIOR. About 8 more minutes for that, and then at 9 o'clock we'll give you a new word. It's time for Why Is No One Talking About This? Now, there's stories out there every day. Myself, Kenzie, and Case comb through the internet, TV news, wherever to find stories to talk about every day. We got 20 hours to fill a week. Things that interest us, we get into it. And there's some stories that seem huge that no one's talking about for some reason because, I don't know, the news just wants to sometimes hit up stories that they know will just get people angry all the time or, just to feed into fear. But these are stories. This first one, by the way, is kind of fear-based, but no one's talking about it that much, it seems like. I know you've probably seen maybe something. This is the only one of them I think you've maybe seen a little bit about. A bank exploded in Youngstown, Ohio, and one person died.
Oh, my.
And no one's really talking about it. Like 30 people got injured.
How did it explode?
Well, there's a whole investigation going on. They say it's a natural gas explosion that rocked the downtown Youngstown area, but instantly you think of terrorism these days when something like that happens. And this story isn't even near a top story on any kind of news site. You have to dig deep. This is a very deep, like, 5th page or monstrous scroll down to see this story. A bank frickin' exploded.
You sounded like Dr. Evil.
A bank freaking exploded.
Oh, now you sounded like Stallone.
Sorry, I
You ruined it. You ruined it.
you
You thought about it and you ruined it.
Do you want to do it as Porky Pig?
I can't do that.
Buddy plays exploded. Because he can't do bees.
Yeah, me neither. So anyway, they're investigating it. It's a long, and it just seems like this story didn't get any play. I don't know why. It just didn't get any talk about it. I mean, when a bank explodes, I think it should be.
Maybe because they didn't know why it exploded.
But still, you report on it like right away. A bank exploded. Doesn't happen often. When something like that explodes, I don't know.
It's just weird because I'm not. It's not like, why is nobody talking about this in a conspiracy type way? Like, I don't think the Clintons are behind it. It's a.
Well, they have enough money.
It's just a giant news story. Like, I went home yesterday and launched into a conversation about it. And my girlfriend was like, what's happening? I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. And if you haven't seen the video, it's not a little fire.
No.
It's like a movie explosion.
It's unreal. It's like in a Die Hard movie.
It's really scary, and it just doesn't feel. I don't know why it's not that big of a deal. It feels like it should be a big deal.
I mean, to put it in perspective, what was above this? I know with analytics that they target you, so don't make fun of me when I say this. But above this story in my timeline was top 10 sandwiches in Chicago.
Well, because you're just curated. That's why.
And I understand, like, Terry the math guy just texted in and said it was on the national news 2 days ago. I understand that. It feels like there should be a follow-up and a continued conversation, but we're at a point now where it's like, oh, yeah, bank explosion. All right, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to share something.
Okay.
It's probably going to get me in trouble.
Oh, boy.
I'm
You're not
finding-
going to say that word, are you?
No. I'm finding out about this story right now.
Yeah.
And you guys both had it in your prep, which says a lot. But I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, it was in our prep a couple days ago. And
I
then
didn't see it.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, no, but I probably should have known about this because about the radio. I did not know a bank exploded.
Kenzie scrolled to my sandwich link that I had on there, top 10
Absolutely.
sandwiches.
And boy, are they wrong on some of those.
She's tried all 10 by now since Tuesday when I put this in
Well,
the
I
prep.
blacked out when I read that.
All right, so that's one story that people we think should be talking about more, that one.
Let me ask this before you continue.
Yeah.
Do people care about this?
Well,
Is this something people care about now that they've heard about it?
You know why they don't care? Because there's not enough meat on the bone. It exploded, because of these robbers who fled. But now we're doing something. I need a movie plot. This is an explosion sucks.
Well,
There's got to be a story. There's got to be a script.
Is that where we're at now, that an explosion, quote, sucks? I remember back in my day, an explosion rocked.
You needed to, do something. Otherwise, whatever. Kids blow stuff up all the time. I need a story.
But to Case's point, this explosion was like in a Die Hard movie. Like the whole building, it's unreal. And sadly, somebody lost their life. But if they're just, okay, it's a gas explosion, I'm not buying
Who
it.
lost their life? An heiress to a fortune? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well,
Imagine if that was the case.
we're not the judge. Maybe that's why this story no one cares about.
Somebody said it was a gas leak. Blah, it's boring.
I mean, but still.
A gas leak? I'm looking for something. I want to know.
They had just
was it a gas leak that was set up and they're coming back with? You know what I mean?
They just talked to the Clintons, you mean? That's what you want.
Who were they targeting? I need something interesting.
All right, another story that no one's talking about. Cocaine worth $468 million was seized by the Coast Guard in one of the most massive drug busts ever.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Unless we just snort it all.
Unless you're cool.
So this was, I found this story. So 33,768 pounds of cocaine, estimated of a street value of $468 million. Actually, that's just the regular value, not even a street value where they jack it up. But
what do you mean? Where's it a better deal? Where do you get
like
cocaine
a cocaine
as a deal?
store?
well, like a drug dealer would buy it for that, and then they're going to cut it with like baby powder, and then it could be worth like $2 billion of cocaine. Not that I know anything about
What do you
it.
mean they're going to cut it with baby powder? They shift in baby powder into cocaine?
So when this is like pure cocaine, right? So when it hits,
When they sell cocaine, they put baby powder in it?
they cut it. That's sadly the big fentanyl problem in America is because they cut it with stupid things that hurt people.
Well,
or
besides that, fentanyl is great? Is that what you're saying?
no.
Is that what you said?
No, what I'm saying is that when you do coke, I can't believe I said that, but when you do it, it's like 5% cocaine of real cocaine. This is the pure cocaine worth $468 million. See what I'm saying?
So when you buy a bag of sugar and it says real cane sugar, you're
Yep.
trying to say there's no baby powder in this. It's
No,
not cut.
sugar's different.
This
It's
is
regulated.
street value, straight up.
Sugar is regulated. It's all real. You're fine with your sugar.
Wouldn't you be able to smell the baby powder like pretty strongly? Baby powder's got quite a scent.
I'm not in the.
If you were giving me cocaine and it
Yeah.
was actually baby powder and I opened that bag, I'd go, well, this is baby powder. Instantly. It's such a potent scent. What? I'm just saying. It's
Okay.
not scentless. You think, well, this is obviously a bag of baby powder.
I've never done the mixture, so I don't know how it works. How it hides the smell of nice, like what is it? You know, baby.
This is like when Michael Scott planted weed in Toby's desk, but it was a bag of salad. It just seems very obvious.
Well, it's not. I just thought this would be a bigger story. No one's talked about this one at all.
How many pounds was it?
33,768 pounds of coke worth $500 million, just the coke itself.
That's a lot of pounds of anything, let alone coke.
So what? It's like they traveled with an elephant. What are they gonna do? What happens when a boat's like, hey, you can't bring all this cocaine, and they pick it up? Which I don't think that little tugboat that I see could handle that. But when they do it, what happens? Does the government sell the cocaine? What do they do with it?
Well, this is a question as old as time,
I
right?
know.
Are they using it for a big party
Because,
this
like,
weekend
what
or
are
what?
they gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with all that cocaine?
I believe allegedly they burn it. They burn it away. Now, it's not like weed that goes in
Burn
the...
through it?
Yeah, I mean, weed goes in, they burn it, it goes in the sky, and everybody gets high. It's not that. It's cocaine, so, you know.
I don't buy that they burn it. Do you think they would burn all of that?
I think they're selling it.
Yeah. Well, because now it's regulated.
Right, exactly.
The taxing is the problem.
This is a very curious question I have, and I'm not asking for an answer for listeners, but I just think this seems like a dated question, too. Are that many people doing cocaine today? Because this is only one drug bust, and it's $500 million and 33,000 pounds. I understand, like weed's legal in Chicago, and gummies, any way you want to get high. And sadly, people get addicted to pills and things like that. I just didn't think people were still doing coke.
Well, it's so last year.
It's like fetch. Stop trying to make it happen.
Yeah. What a loot. You're doing coke? Oh, my God. Yikes.
No one should do coke. No one should do it. I've listened.
I feel like it's still very popular in Hollywood because it's an energy boosting one. I don't think it's used, and I could be wrong because I've never done it or been invited to. But I think no one has. I think I have so much energy, no one's interested in giving me cocaine. Like that would suck, right? Like it'd be like inviting a chihuahua to a party.
They'd
It
say,
would be
like,
like a lot. I think that people use it more for the energy boost, though. It's like those crazy, like all night things.
Correct. That's
Right?
what. Listen, I'm in circles where I had friends and people that did that back in the day, but I just haven't heard anybody talking about cocaine in a while.
You had a bunch of friends who did cocaine?
Never did it. I've been offered it 1,000 times. I never did. I was too scared to do it. I don't want to do
Too
it.
scared?
Well, because here's the thing.
Ian, you thought it was all baby powder and you're still too scared.
I could use some baby powder. It smells nice. But I was too afraid of the addiction. I'm addicted to like Ben and Jerry's fish food. So I think cocaine would probably trump that a little bit and be a little worse.
Yeah, you thought Halo was good. Imagine cocaine.
I was addicted to Halo for like 10 years. I can't do it. So I don't want to do it. You shouldn't do it. It's bad for you. Anyway, a cocaine shipment happened. I just can't believe people still doing that much cocaine out there.
Maybe it's what they see. Maybe they're stuck on the boat. They couldn't sell any of it.
Couldn't get there.
No one's buying this cocaine. We're stuck on this boat.
And there's some stories about why is no one talking about this? A cocaine bust and a bank exploded in Ohio. No one seems to care.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Now, we've talked about a lot of great experiences and free tickets, free stuff, free concerts all morning long because we've given you that. As a matter of fact, you keep texting Chicago to 312-591-8300 right now to get into Rise Against, the sold-out show at the Salt Shed from our great friends there at the Salt Shed and, of course, Q101. It's sold out. Only way to get in. You got that till 10 o'clock to use that word. Then Lauren will give you a new word. But one more thing I want to give you is coming up tomorrow afternoon here on Q101. It'll be streamed live on our Facebook and Q101 is the Lounge with Papa Roach. I am so fired up for this. I am so ready to do it. I'll be your host. So make sure at 3 o'clock you are, if not there, on our social media pages and Q101.com to watch it live. I've been waiting for this one. This one's been already in the books for a couple months, and you can actually try to get there. Go to the contest and events page at Q101.com and just add your name to the list and try to get in. I have a review of the album Infest from the year 2000 when I was Sludge back in the day here on Q101. Kenzie likes to say sludgy wudgy.
Sludgy.
And I'm going to read it back to them live. I was the only one that was working here at the time that gave the album an incredible review. Everybody else trashed it.
You were ahead of the curve, if you will, on Papa Roach.
Way ahead of the curve.
You saw something in them.
And I don't know if I can just tell the whole story right now real quick, but...
Save it for the lounge tomorrow, maybe.
Should I?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, keep it.
Tell it now. Who cares?
No. Well, some people might be busy.
Well, that was quite the arc.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
Save it. Never mind.
Here's a story because I don't
gives
think
a crap advice.
Kenzie hasn't heard this story. So, they were playing the Cubby Bear. We booked them for the Cubby Bear, and the story goes that we booked them for about $2,000 because they were a new band. No one knew who they were, and then the song "Last Resort" blew up on MTV. And they were doing gigs for about $40,000 by the time they did the show at the Cubby Bear. So they had a reason to be maybe a little grumpy because we got you for nothing.
They were grumpy when they were here?
They were not, but I'm saying they had a reason to be kind of grumpy. You know what I mean? If you left
Papa Grump?
left 38 grand on the table.
Papa Grump.
But they were not grumpy.
Okay.
They were amazing guys. And I show up and instantly the tour manager says, "Oh, wait, you're Sludge, right?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, because I was on the list. He was writing things in. He goes, "Oh, come with me." And I go, "Oh, where are we going?" He goes, "We're going out to the tour bus." I go, "Okay." So he walks me out behind the Cubby Bear over to the tour bus, and I get on the bus, and the whole band is there. Jacoby and the whole band, Papa Roach is there. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys?" And they're like, "This is Sludge, right? This is the guy?" And I go, "Yeah." What did I do? What's wrong? They go, "Oh, nothing, man. We just went to your website, Q101.com, and you were the only one that gave our album an awesome review, so we want to party with you."
Oh. Aren't you relieved?
Oh, because there was a bunch of big dudes on that bus. Yeah. I thought I was getting my ass kicked. I didn't know what was going on.
Imagine getting throttled by Papa Roach.
Great.
You're like, "I just wanted to enjoy the show." You're just getting your ass kicked.
I love Last Resort. I'm sorry.
"This is Sludge. You hit on my girlfriend." But it was so cool because we used to do album reviews, I should say CD reviews back then on Q101.com. And Case found my review, which I'm gonna read it back to them live in the lounge tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Not gonna do it now. You can find things on this website called the Wayback Machine. It goes back to Q101 from that year. And yeah, they were so cool. They were so happy because there was other people on the radio station at the time that didn't give it a good review. And I loved that CD. I was all over it. In my 6-disc changer, it was all the time in there.
Did you just jerk them off the whole review? Were you just so excited?
Well, I loved the record legitimately. I loved it. And they were just like,
God, I hope they see this.
Didn't think that at all. I didn't think anybody was going to see it.
I mean, how much did your dream come true? Was this around your birthday? Was it your birthday wish?
It was winter. I'm trying to think if it was around January, that show at the Cubby Bear. Case can do a deep dive on that and find out when it was.
Yeah, if you can find out. Okay.
Yeah, why don't you work on that, Case? Why don't you do something around here?
Yeah. Find out what Brian's birthday wish was that year. You could just get on that.
Yeah. But it was an incredible moment. And then I sat and partied with them for like an hour before they went on. And then they crushed at the Cubby Bear. So looking forward to this lounge tomorrow.
Did you just look down on all those who weren't invited on the bus?
was everybody else. He was the only guy on the bus.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going,
The rest of the
USA, I'm the champion.
The rest of the peasant staff that they hated.
Oh, my friend. Well, it just goes less in the show that sometimes people think back then there was no social media. And you didn't think bands knew everything you were doing. Now they kind of do check all of what we're doing all the time. Everybody checks everything now. And they actually went to the website, looked at how people were reviewing their album, and I won.
In August 26, 2000 at the Cubby Bear, your dream came true. That's when that show was.
Damn, my man.
I'm good, man. The internet rocks.
Was not in the winter.
No.
Your birthday's in January.
I was partying hard back then. I don't remember dates that clearly.
So there was something white. It just like it wasn't snow.
So go to Q101.com, the concert and events page, and enter for your chance to be here tomorrow at Q101 in the lounge with Papa Roach and me.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren's coming in. Take it to the rest of this Ticket Blitz Thursday. Remind you got about 15 minutes left to use the word Chicago. 312-591-8300. Text that for a chance to get to the sold-out Rise Against show with Q101 at the Salt Shed Friday, October 18th. Sold out. Only way to get into it every hour today through Lauren's show, through Brian Phillips' show, so stay right here. Takeaways at 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Takeaway from our friend Allie Maxwell. Coke is even better when it smells like babies.
Wow. Kenzie, what do you got?
Takeaway, Joanna, top 10 sandwiches of Chicago trumps Ohio bank explosion.
I know what talking about this.
Yeah, the algorithm knows you.
Oh, God. And finally, very simply, Sarah texted in, Something Wong. Now, we must play that. The show became an audio source of things on TV that made you laugh that were ridiculous. Tragic story of a plane crash, and someone punked the news anchor with some different names of the pilots.
She was already dead when the truck hit her. We have new information now also on the plane crash. KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Something Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are...
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord. A lot of that's going to be on the podcast, right, Case?
That's right. Brian and Kenzie podcast. Today is the day. If you just got here, or maybe you want to share the joys of this show that we bring you with a friend, the Brian and Kenzie podcast, we reacted to the funniest moments in live television history today. That is the episode to download. That is the episode to listen to. That is the episode to share. Introduce somebody to this show today and do it with Brian and Kenzie reacting to the funniest moments in live TV history.
Where you find that at Q101.com, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. That's where the Brian and Kenzie podcast is.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.